Have you ever found yourself trusting your partner to a fault, only to realize that something feels off in your relationship? Or perhaps over time, you've started to feel that the connection you once shared has been strained, and now you're unsure how to restore the trust that once served as the bedrock of your marriage? If you've been grappling with these tough questions, then this video is designed specifically for you. It's a difficult reality that many couples face as they grow older. Over the years, relationships evolve, and the challenges faced can sometimes leave people questioning whether the bond they once had is still intact. But here's the truth. In any relationship, but especially one that has been built over many years, the words we speak and the actions we take have the power to either strengthen or break the foundation we've worked so hard to build. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at how even seemingly minor actions, things like failing to protect your partner's dignity, blindly trusting them with everything without a second thought, or even surrendering all your financial independence, can slowly erode years of love, respect, and trust. As we dive into real-life stories, you'll see just how powerful words can be, how vital it is to respect your partner and maintain your sense of self, and why safeguarding your security is just as important for a healthy relationship as nurturing the connection you share. By the end of this video, you will not only understand the hidden truths behind these situations, but you will also walk away with invaluable lessons on how to avoid making the same mistakes. You will discover how to maintain respect in your marriage, how to protect your independence, and how to ensure that you are building a future together that allows both of you to thrive without sacrificing your identities or self-worth. This is a crucial conversation, and I encourage you to stick around until the end, as the insights shared here could make all the difference in strengthening your relationship and ensuring a healthier, more secure future together. If you're not subscribed yet, I strongly recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Your support truly means the world to me, and if you enjoyed this content, please help me spread these valuable lessons by liking and sharing the video with others. And if you're enjoying this topic, feel free to drop a 1 in the comments. If you think there's room for improvement or have suggestions on what you'd like to see more of, simply comment 0. Your feedback is incredibly important to me as I continue to create content that resonates with you. Let's dive into the story now. 1. Don't make your husband lose face. In any marriage, the connection between husband and wife is sacred, a partnership that is as delicate and intertwined as the wings of a bird, each relying on the other to maintain balance. Over time, we learn that no relationship can survive on the surface alone. Beneath the outward appearances, every marriage is built on trust, respect, and the quiet understanding that words have the power to build or destroy. And when you're in a family, the atmosphere should be one of calm and peace, like the serene stillness of clear water, quiet, reflective, and gentle. But it only takes one careless, harsh word to disturb that tranquility, to send ripples through what was once smooth and harmonious. And over time, those ripples can erode even the strongest of relationships. I've seen it happen, both in my own life and in the lives of those I hold dear. I'm over 70 now, and I can't help but reflect on the many couples I've watched grow older, some with their marriages intact and others, sadly, unraveling. And it's not that the love isn't there. It's just that, sometimes, the very things that seem so unshakable in the younger years begin to fray at the edges with time. It's heartbreaking. You think you know someone, that you've built a life together, and yet, over the years, a subtle shift occurs, one that you never saw coming. Take my friend Greg and his wife Linda, for example. They had been married for over 40 years, which is no small feat, especially in this day and age. They had always been the couple everyone envied. Stable, successful, content. But as the years wore on, their relationship started to crack in places, and their peace, once steady and unwavering, began to dissipate. Linda, a successful businesswoman who had always been the breadwinner, began to view Greg, her quiet, humble, hard-working husband, as someone less than her. He never made as much money as she did, and that difference started to chip away at her affection. What once seemed like a partnership became a battleground where Linda's words were the weapons. It started small, with comments like, "You're so slow," or, I have to handle all the finances because you can't be bothered." But over time, these words, like drops of water, began to wear down Greg's spirit. She would talk about him behind his back to her friends and neighbors, saying things like, "Greg's just another child in the house, and I'm carrying all the weight." It was like watching a slow-motion car crash, knowing it was happening but being powerless to stop it. The neighbors, who overheard these remarks, joined in on the mockery. "Wow, Greg, you must be really lucky to have a wife who does everything while you just sit back and relax," they'd tease. For the longest time, Greg stayed silent. He didn't want to cause trouble. He didn't want to escalate things. But inside, each of those words took a little more from him. His self-worth, his pride, his identity as a man, all of it slowly started to wither. It was so painful to watch him, a man who had once been so strong, start to fade into someone I barely recognized. The silence between them grew. Dinner times were no longer filled with conversation, but with a thick, uncomfortable quiet. Even when their children came over, there was this invisible wall between them that nobody could break down. And then, it happened. One evening, during a family dinner, Linda couldn't help herself. She started her usual routine of putting Greg down in front of the kids. "None of you help me. Greg just sits there, doing nothing," she said. But that night, it broke Greg. For the first time in more than 40 years, he stood up, put down his fork, and with a quiet but firm voice, said, "I don't help because she's never treated me as her husband." The room fell silent. The words hung in the air like an undeniable truth, and for the first time, I think Linda realized the damage she had caused. But it was too late. After that night, Greg never spoke to her again. They lived in the same house, shared the same roof, but they were strangers to each other. The warmth that once existed between them was gone, replaced by the cold, bitter reality of emotional isolation. And yet, Linda never truly understood the weight of her actions until it was far too late. She didn't realize how she had wounded him, how the sharpness of her words had pierced deeper than any physical wound. Their children noticed the change, the void where their parents' laughter and love once were. They all lived under the same roof, but the love was no longer there. It had been silently suffocated by years of disrespect and careless words. In contrast, I know another couple, Ray and Susan, who have been happily married for over 50 years. They don't have much in terms of material wealth, but their marriage is rich with love, respect, and understanding. When I asked Susan how she managed to keep her marriage so peaceful, she gave me a simple yet profound answer. She said, "My mother always told me that men need respect just as much as women need love." If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. That single piece of advice resonated deeply with me. And over all the years I've known them, I've never once heard Susan criticize Ray in front of anyone. She told me, "When we have an issue, it's between us. I never air our dirty laundry to the world. If I'm upset with Ray, it stays between us. Even if he makes a mistake, I never allow anyone to disrespect him. If he loses face, I lose face too." And so, despite all the challenges they faced in life, Ray and Susan's bond only grew stronger. Their respect for each other was the foundation of their enduring love. They may not have had riches or luxuries, but they had something far more valuable: mutual respect, kindness, and a sense of unity. This is the power of words. Words can build bridges or burn them down. They can heal deep wounds or cause scars that never fade. As the saying goes, still waters run deep. Wise people know when to speak and when to remain silent. I truly believe that if women can guard their words and protect their husband's dignity, their husbands will hold them in even higher regard. In the later years of our lives, no one wants to feel emotionally isolated or estranged from the person they once loved deeply. And so I say, with all my heart, speak with care, speak with love, and above all, protect the dignity of your partner, for that is what will keep the flame of happiness burning bright in your relationship for many years to come. 2. Don't blindly trust your husband. There's an old saying that resonates deeply: a gentleman keeps himself, but a petty person exploits trust. How true this is in the maze of life. Trust is essential, of course, but it should never be blind. We often hear that love is the foundation of a strong marriage, but what is love without security? What happens when we give all of ourselves, including our sense of safety, to someone else? The truth is, blind trust can lead us down a dark path. A wise woman knows the balance. She trusts, yes, but she also protects her heart and her future. Love should flow freely, but trust must be earned and measured. This is a lesson that many of us learn the hard way. I want to share with you the story of Claire, a woman who trusted her husband more than she trusted herself. Claire was often admired by her friends for her perfect marriage. She had Jack, her hard-working, honest, and reliable husband, who had no vices, no secrets. He was the ideal man, and Claire believed in him wholeheartedly. To the outside world, they were the perfect couple. Beautiful home, beautiful life. Claire's love for Jack was unwavering, and because of this, she made a decision that many women make. She gave him full control of their finances. She felt safe with him, and so she took only a small allowance for household expenses. But what Claire didn't know, what no one could have known, was that this blind trust would soon cost her everything. When people suggested she open a separate savings account, Claire laughed it off, saying, "Why worry? Jack's responsible. He's got everything under control." She felt secure in his love and his promise to always take care of her. But life has a way of reminding us of the things we choose to ignore. It was one ordinary day that everything changed. Claire checked their joint savings account and found a large sum of money was missing. The panic, the confusion, everything inside her screamed that something was wrong. When she confronted Jack, he dismissed her concerns with a nonchalant shrug. "I invested it," he said. "Don't worry. We'll make it back soon." But that uneasy feeling in Claire's chest began to grow. Things began to unravel. Jack, once so reliable, began acting strangely. Late-night texts, the lingering scent of unfamiliar perfume on his clothes, longer business trips. Claire's instincts, that quiet voice we often ignore, started to rise within her. Something wasn't right, and for the first time, she decided to act. She followed him. What she saw shattered her. Jack, the man she had trusted with everything, was sitting at a lavish cafe with a younger woman. The image hit her like a tidal wave. That night, she asked him, her voice trembling yet calm, "Where did you go today?" Jack answered as if nothing had changed, "I went to meet a client." But Claire knew in that moment. Her trust had been broken, and she was living a lie. The next day, she checked their savings account again. The missing money had been transferred into the young woman's account. It was the final blow. Heartbroken, Claire didn't scream, didn't lash out. She simply packed her things. She left a note for Jack, one that was filled not with anger but with profound sadness. It read, "I trusted you completely, but you traded my trust for betrayal. Money can be earned again, but trust, once lost, can never be regained. I'm leaving now so you and she can live comfortably, without having to hide anymore." As she walked away from the home they had built together, Claire's heart was heavy. She left behind the man she had once believed in, but she took with her something far more valuable, her self-respect and her future. She returned to her hometown, started fresh, and built a life that didn't depend on someone else's promises. Time passed. The young woman, once eager to bask in the comfort Jack's money provided, soon left him when the funds ran dry. Jack came crawling back to Claire, begging for her to return, but by then, it was too late. Once trust is broken, it's almost impossible to repair. This story, though heartbreaking, serves as a powerful lesson. Claire gave all her love, all her trust, and even her financial security to Jack, only to have it all taken away. But had she been wise, had she kept a separate savings account, a financial cushion of her own, she might have saved herself from the devastation that followed. There's another saying that goes, "Money is your safety net." It's a truth we often overlook, thinking that we can rely on someone else to take care of us. But the reality is that your safety, your security, and your future are yours to protect. Women, especially, need to know how to manage their finances independently. It's not about being untrusting. It's about being wise enough to prepare for the unexpected. A woman who knows how to protect herself, both emotionally and financially, will never be caught off guard. She will always stand tall, independent, and resilient, no matter what life throws her way. It's a hard truth to learn, but a necessary one. The key to a fulfilling life lies in maintaining your dignity, your independence, and your safety, both in love and in finances. 3. Don't give all your money to your husband. Money is far more than just a means to survive. It is the very lifeblood of your independence, your dignity, and your ability to live life on your terms. When you place all of your financial resources in someone else's hands, you are effectively handing over control of your entire life. You're placing your fate, your dreams, and your future in someone else's hands, and that is a dangerous gamble. There's an old saying that resonates deeply with me: wealth should be in your own hands, not anyone else's. It's not just a financial truth. It's a truth about your autonomy, your power, and your self-respect. The loss of money isn't simply a financial setback. It's a loss of power, and when you lose power, you lose the ability to make decisions that shape your destiny. Women who entrust their entire financial future to their husbands are, in many ways, giving away more than their money. They are surrendering their independence, their freedom, and the ability to chart their course in life. Financial independence is not just an option, it's a necessity. I can't emphasize enough how vital it is to have a financial safety net of your own, even if it's a small one. A separate savings account, a hidden stash of money, or even an emergency fund. These are the things that can make all the difference when life throws you a curveball. A woman who has control over her finances is never truly helpless. She doesn't have to rely on anyone else for survival. She isn't forced into the humiliating position of begging for help or having to defer every decision to someone else. Money, while not everything, provides a foundation of independence, respect, and the ability to make choices that are solely yours to make. Take the heart-wrenching story of Claire, a woman who, for years, trusted her husband with everything. Claire never even thought to save money for herself. She believed that, because they were partners, Paul would always have her best interests at heart. She handed over control of their finances, their future, and even their dreams, never imagining that something could go wrong. But when Claire reached retirement age, she learned the painful truth: everything she had worked for was gone. The savings they had accumulated over the years? Gone. Her financial security? Gone. The life she thought she would live in comfort and peace? Shattered. Without her income or savings to fall back on, Claire found herself relying entirely on Paul for the most basic needs. She couldn't even buy a new shirt without asking him for money. The weight of this dependency was suffocating. Can you imagine how it feels to realize that your life stability has been built on someone else's promises? To see everything slip away because you didn't have a safety net of your own? That kind of vulnerability is soul-crushing. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It only got worse. Even when their children sent her money, Paul would take it from her, dismissing her with a chilling line: "I'll hold on to it for you. You won't need to spend it anyway." The control, the dismissal of her needs, it was as if she had become invisible. But the truth came crashing down when Claire discovered the heartbreaking reality. Paul had been sending large sums of money to his family, without ever consulting her. These weren't small amounts. It was their savings, the very foundation of her future. When Claire confronted him, her voice trembling with disbelief, Paul shrugged it off, saying, "I'm the head of the household. I have the right to make these decisions." That moment was a dagger to Claire's heart. She realized that her trust, her faith, had been utterly betrayed. But it wasn't just the money that had been taken, it was her autonomy, her power, her very sense of self. Claire wasn't just a woman who had been financially exploited. She had become a woman who was emotionally manipulated, stripped of her voice, and left with nothing. The life she thought she would have, built on the foundation of love and partnership, had been ripped from beneath her, and now she was left with regret and pain. Had Claire maintained even a small measure of financial independence, a separate savings account, a stash of emergency funds, she wouldn't have found herself in this heartbreaking situation. That's the lesson we all must learn. No matter how secure or trustworthy your partner may seem, women need to have their financial backup plan. Trusting someone completely, no matter how much you love them, can leave you exposed, vulnerable, and at risk of losing everything. Another is saying I hold dear, money is your safety net. A woman who controls her finances is never truly powerless. She will always have the means to stand on her own, no matter what life throws at her. She will have the dignity, the strength, and the courage to make decisions that are hers alone. No one, not even the person you love most, should have that kind of control over you. It's not just about money. It's about maintaining your independence, your dignity, and the ability to shape your own life. You owe it to yourself to safeguard your future, your choices, and your peace of mind. Never let anyone, no matter how well-intentioned, take that from you. As we wrap up today's discussion, I hope you've gained some valuable insights into the importance of financial independence, self-respect, and the need to safeguard your future. It's not just about money. It's about maintaining your autonomy, dignity, and the power to make your own decisions. Remember, your financial safety net isn't just about security. It's about protecting your peace of mind and empowering yourself to live life on your terms. So, what have you learned from this video? Think about how you can apply this knowledge to your own life. Is there one lesson that stands out to you? Something you're going to practice moving forward? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave your comment, hit that thumbs up, and share it with someone who could benefit from it. And of course, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more empowering content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.